Hello everyone and welcome back to the RMTV Women's podcast. This is episode 154 on Zoom again, but it's fine. It's okay. Life's busy.
Fine.
Life's busy. That just reminded me of that TikTok where he's like, life is busy. I'm a busy man.
I
wasn't a busy man a year ago.
But I'm a busy man now. Yeah,
I love that. Yeah, that's the adult life for you. That's what we now have is an adult life, and I don't like it.
No, let's go back to uni. Not the uni part, but the free time part. And
yeah.
Being paid, not doing anything part.
Basically, my uni rang me yesterday to do like a survey, and I was on the phone for 30 minutes.
That's disgusting.
I was like, this is just unnecessary. Like, we don't need to be going through this. They must have rang me like 17 times in the last 2 weeks.
Ew.
And I pretend that I wasn't me on the phone to be like, oh, she's not home at the minute, like, can you ring back another time? Then yesterday they rang and I was just like, oh, just get it over with because they'll just keep ringing. So I did it. It was unnecessary, but it's done.
Yeah.
It's done. But
very nice. Graduation's back on.
What?
My graduation's back on. Got cancelled and now it's
I thought you said the congratulations is back on, and I was like, what for?
Well, it is. If you want, I can make it back on if you need. I was just saying my graduation's on.
When is it? January?
Yeah. Finally. 2 years later.
Yeah. I know. I didn't get to go to mine, so it's fine.
It's really sad.
Really, I'll live mine through you.
Okay, thank you.
We'll just Photoshop my face onto you.
Yeah, 100%.
And then we can just
scroll like.
Yeah. I had to do a makeshift one of them in lockdown last year. It was really sad.
Oh no.
Because my nan was like, I want a picture of you with your diploma, and I was like, I don't have a diploma, nan.
Did you get sent yours eventually?
Yeah, I did get it, but I don't know where it is.
Oh dear. That's
I think it's under my bed in a box.
Okay.
So, but I was like, what do you do with it? Are you supposed to frame it? Like, what?
I think so.
But, like, isn't that a bit, like...
bit pretentious, but
yeah. Like, imagine it just chilling there, like, in a frame.
I'm just going to give it to my mum and she can do whatever she wants with it.
Yeah, man can just stay under the bed. It's been there for nearly 2 years. I can stay there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, let's kick this podcast off. So, we're just going to talk about Liverpool, basically, because the Reds are boss. And we haven't had this. We've just been saying before we started, we haven't had this, like, run of games and this feeling for, like, so long, and it's just so nice that I just don't want to stop talking about it. So I'm not going to stop talking about it, because this is a Liverpool podcast, so it gives us the platform just to keep talking about it.
You do you.
Exactly. So obviously we played Sunderland at the weekend, Saturday night to be exact, a 7 p.m. kickoff, which is a bit of a mad one. We didn't like it.
I was a bit upset, to be honest. I didn't get to, well, none of us got to watch it, but
yeah.
Couldn't even follow along. Like, it was prime time. Like, I was out with my family on the weekend, and it's like prime time to sort of go out. Do you know what I mean? And then the kickoff was at 7. 7. I don't understand.
7. Yeah. I know, because I went to the Arsenal game at Anfield, so, like, I missed the first, like, 15 minutes. So when it came out, I was like, immediately on Twitter, like, what's the score, what's going on? And we were 1-0 down, and I was like, this is not what I wanted.
You were like, phone away.
I had, like, the high of, like, us just beating Arsenal 4-0 to then coming out to the game, and it was like Liverpool Women getting beat 1-0. I was like, no. But we brought it back. Obviously conceded from a set piece, which isn't always the best, but that's fine. We brought it back. Yana Daniels gets the equaliser. I'm pretty sure that's her first. Yeah.
What's a header?
Was it Fernie at the back post? Like, heads it on, or like swings it back in. She either heads it in or like flicks it in. I can't remember now.
Well, she jumps so high. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, she gets really good height there. But we've been knocking on the door before that. We could have had at least 3 or 4, I reckon, before that.
I think like their goal, obviously, to put them ahead, it's sort of super sloppy. I think we'd just fallen asleep for a bit, and like sometimes I find that with you either get one or the other Liverpool. You either get one who scores within the first like 5 minutes and is just like on top the whole time, or you get a Liverpool who are really quite slow out the blocks and then only fully go for it like after 20 minutes, half an hour.
Yeah.
So you either get one or the other. And obviously, that's the one that showed up on Saturday. But
Yeah.
it was great. I'm so happy. I'm just happy about football at the minute. It's really nice.
I know, but I think like what you just pointed out there is like a testament to how the squad's going at the minute. I think, you know, I think I refer to a Liverpool of last season every podcast now, but it's kind of like the only thing to compare to in terms of the difference in the squads. Like us last season, if we just conceded in the first 5-10 minutes of a game, it's heads down, it's body language changes, the team kind of goes into a shell. Yeah, whereas like
that was what the problem I think was.
And like I've just been saying then like, oh, look that, and so we were 1-0 down, but no part of me thought, oh, we're gonna lose this game, because of just how consistent and how good we've been in the last few since the beginning of the season, really. Not the first game, we'll forget about that. But like since that moment, like it's just the brilliant performances we're putting in, and the brilliant away performance we're putting in. Let's point out how good we are away from home as well. Matt Beard referred to it in his weekly column this week, and it was like, oh, the team loves going and playing away because teams come at us, they don't sit back, they come at you, whereas when a lot of teams come to Prenton, they tend to sit back or you know, invite us on, but basically put like 10-11 players behind the ball, whereas like when you go away from home, you give them more freedom of the park because your opposition are at home, so therefore they're going to try and play their game and come out and stuff like that. So it sometimes works in our favour going away from home because no one wants to sit back against us. Like Blackburn is a prime example of a team coming for a point and doing it well and sitting back, whereas you know, look at Sunderland the other night, Durham away, like we were able to go there and play some of our best football because the opposition basically allowed us to do it.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think like the way that we set up now is just more confident. Like we're so much more attacking than we ever used to be, and it's nice to have the different options. Like sometimes it'll be 3 at the back, sometimes it'll be 4. Do you know what I mean? But everyone seems to know what their place is and what formation to be when we attack, what formation to be when we defend. And like I think it's just the fluidity at the minute is really good, and I think it helps when you have players like Liankin and that are on fire at the minute. Jazz Matthews is so solid, Roby as well. Like you've got players in there that are getting games week in, week out, and with that just builds confidence. So I think it's just a team that is full of confidence at the minute, and I just really hope it continues after like the Christmas period, especially. That's when we see a bit of a drop off after you come back from having a period off. But hopefully it just carries on, because I think we're just all desperate for promotion this season. And I think that win against Durham said quite a lot, I think, in terms of where we're at and what potentially we could achieve this season. But I just hope it just carries on, because it's such a great feeling when you come away on a Sunday. Like the amount of times me and you have been on the car home on a Sunday a couple of seasons ago and literally just didn't speak because we were like, God, not again. You know what I mean? Like,
it like deflates you, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And like we're bouncing away from Prenton Park now. Like it's quite a nice feeling to be able to do that week in, week out. We're like, oh yeah, what a win! Like talking about it in such a positive way. I really do hope it carries on.
Yeah, and you know, it's fair to say we're not perfect by any means. You know, no. This team can go up even more levels, but we're just very hard to beat at the minute, and that's something that's really, really good, because you know, once you figure out that plan and that kind of like recipe, then you know that's it. That's how your season goes, and Matt Beard's clearly found something and knows how to work the game.
Yeah.
So that's good, and I think a lot of people would agree with me, especially if you watch the highlights back from Saturday, that I'm pretty sure that was probably our best performance of the season. Because like, how can you not watch those highlights? It was complete domination. right from
Yeah.
the beginning. Even when we were 1-0 down, still complete domination. Most of the highlights is just us having a pop at goal basically.
Yeah.
Um, and then obviously that extends it now to 12 games unbeaten in all comps, which is brilliant consistency. Like, you've got to keep that going for as long as possible. Like, we've only got one league game now this side of Christmas. It's not until the 19th of December, which is Charlton at home. But if you stretch to, we've got a cup game in between that. We stretch to 14 games unbeaten this side of Christmas.
Wow.
You're going into the Christmas break. Like, I don't think we've ever gone into a Christmas break and just felt like relaxed, and that's what I want. Like,
Yeah.
and
As many points on the board.
exactly, like, we've got 23 points at the minute. I think we're 4 points ahead of London City in second.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't had that for ages. Like, we haven't. It's not much breathing space, but it's a bit of breathing space, and that's all we needed. Because if we go back to when we drew with Blackburn 0-0 in the league a couple of weeks ago, Durham got beat, and you came away from that and was like, oh, that would have been a perfect opportunity to sort of lengthen the gap there against Durham, especially when we were going in to play them. You then go and beat Durham, you then go and beat Sunderland, and it's like you've now got a 4-point, 5-point, 6-point gap ahead of some teams. That just allows for that breathing space, which is really nice. But yeah, it's just really nice to be top of the table, isn't it?
Honestly, it's great. I like seeing it at the top. So many times when I've gone on Google to look at the table, I've had to click the more arrow or really scroll down. And I'm like, thank God I don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah, it's just nice to see us sitting pretty at the top for a change.
Well, hopefully it continues.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said then, on international break, do you think it's come at a good time or a bad time? Because I don't know.
We said this last time, but yet now we're 12 games unbeaten.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. It depends. I just hope no one goes out and gets injured. I think a few couple of knocks last time, but like, obviously there's a few people that are coming back from injury. I think you've written it down here. The main ones, obviously, Charlotte Wardlaw actually getting onto the pitch. I mean, we've seen loads of pictures of Meg Campbell back on the grass, which is amazing to see. Not actually played a game for Liverpool in like competitive terms yet. So yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good.
It is. Things are going well. So fingers crossed it continues that way. But I think we've got to give a lot of praise to the manager for how this has gone. And I'll hold my hands up, and I think you do the same. When he first came in, when he first got the job in the summer, we were a bit sceptical, and that's simply because of what he'd done, like in terms of with Bristol and with West Ham and stuff like that. And you were kind of like, oh, is he the right person to take us forward? Will he be able to do the job? Blah blah blah. And like, I think he's exceeded all expectations. He's absolutely excelled in this role, and I can't really pick any fault at all about the manager at the minute.
No, I can't either. I think, you know what, like, we were also skeptical at the start when we had a bit of a rocky start to this season, and like we drew. I think we lose one game and then we won. It was all a bit like muddled at the start, and like even when Matt Beard used to come up and do his post match, he would always be a bit like a little bit like not like he didn't know what to say, but just like a little bit deflated about it. But like, he comes up now and he speaks so highly of all of his players and speaks how much they work hard in training and then put all they have on the pitch at the end, like the 90 minutes or 90 plus minutes, whatever. So it's really, you got to give him a lot of credit. I thought, is he the right person for the job? And you know what? I think he is the right person to get us where we want to be at the end of the season. What happens after that, I guess we'd have to find out if it gets to that point. But he's definitely the only person at this minute that you'd want in that role. And he's doing such a good job. He seems to be able to bring out things in these players. Like, he's bringing out such a good side of Lankin and Rihanna Dean when she was fit and scored those goals against Watford. Like, Robe couldn't, now she's starting like week in, week out. So she's excelled. Taylor Hines is another great example. Absolutely smashing it this season. I think under the right guidance, players do tend to excel, and he's obviously providing that to the players. And honestly, like, you've got to give him credit. I mean, he's been manager he's had, and you know what, he deserves to get it at the end of the season. He deserves to lift that trophy with the club. So fingers crossed it happens, and I really, really hope it does.
Yeah, me too. I think you've pretty much summed it up perfectly there. Yeah, I think what really helps him as well is not just him as a manager in terms of like football and wise, but it's his team management. It's how he presents himself to the players. Like, I don't know if you've seen like the interview with Bo Cairns, where like Bo Cairns gate crashed at the end of the Blackburn game, but it's like the way they interacted, and they interact with players, and because at the end of the day they're just all human beings, you know what I mean? They're all
100%.
So like, but the fact that like he can stand there and joke about things with Bo Cairns while doing a press interview is the kind of manager that you want. Like, you don't want to feel like on edge when you're speaking to your manager, or you feel like you can only speak to him regarding football in terms. It's like you can speak to them on and off the pitch about things, and I think that's
100%.
what makes like a great manager, because at the end of the day, if you don't feel like your manager's approachable in terms of anything, then you know you're not kind of gonna have that good relationship, and it's not gonna show on the pitch either. So
I'm gonna have the confidence either.
Exactly, yeah. So, and like you said, then there's just the way he's been able to nurture these players this season. Like Taylor Hines is a prime example. Like, Taylor Hines has been around for so long that you feel like she should be about 26, 27, and she's only 23.
23, 22, yeah.
So like,
it's crazy.
Yeah, like, think of the player that she's gonna go on to be. Like, she's having her best season. Like, she's been absolutely phenomenal this season so far. Definitely my player of the season so far, if you had to pick one at this stage. Just exceptional. So yeah, it's nice to see that he's bringing the best out in players, which is always a positive.
Yeah.
And then like we said, then Leanne Kiernan absolutely flying, like
just scoring for fun.
Scoring for fun. She's the perfect number 9. It's perfect number 9. Like, she right place, right time, always in the box. Just like little poaching goals as well. Like against Durham was a prime one where the keeper spills it and she's just there just to knock it into the net. Like, she's always there. And we've said before, like, we pointed out at the beginning of the season when she signed that she'd only scored like 3 or 4 goals for West Ham last season, and she's now in like, is it 9 goals now in all comps, I want to say. So yeah,
crazy,
flying.
But like, I think the delivery into her as well has been incredible, from like Lawley, Fernie, Bokens, Holland. Like, they've all been so good, and even like Jana Daniels, I think, has come in, especially over the last couple of weeks, and kind of proved why she was brought to the club. Like, although she might not be the strongest on the ball, she gets it out of her feet really quickly sometimes, and can help with like the press and the attack going forward and feeding in Kiernan up top. So credit where credit's due for that as well. But yeah, she's got such good awareness of where she is, Leanne, and like, you know what, when you just watch her, not necessarily on the ball, like off the ball, she's literally working her ass off all the time. She's actually really quick, which I didn't realise until she came to the club. She's such a quick player, full of energy. And like, it's just a case of she's always in the right place at the right time. That's why she's getting all these goals. But like, she's a really exciting player, and you know what, like, if we do get back into WSL, she has that WSL experience, so you'd hope she'd just keep reaching higher and higher each time.
More than happy to be the Leanne Kiernan fan club over here.
Oh, like, yeah, let's 100%. Do it.
Like, her and Fernie, the two, we just love the Irish ones, don't we? We just love it.
And Niamh, you like Niamh?
We love Niamh. We absolutely love Niamh. Yeah, as I was saying, I think I said it to Kiva one of the last games, I was like, we're going to end up going to like the Women's Euros next year, and like just all sitting there with like our Northern Ireland tops on, because we just love them all that much. Like, literally. Like, one of us will have Fernie, one of us will have Kieran on one Irish shop, Fahy will be on the other Irish shop. It'll just be like,
Campbell will be on someone else.
yeah, like, even if they're not there, we'll just be like, yeah, whatever, we don't care. We're just gonna show our love for these.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything's all rosy. We love it. We absolutely love it at the minute.
It is, and hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah,
We like positive.
Yeah, bit disappointing that we don't have I want a game this weekend now because I'm like really like hyped about it. But it's fine. We'll wait for Sunderland in the cup. It's all good.
We can survive one weekend without.
Yeah, well, I think it's two. It's like two and a bit weekends, isn't it? Like it's next game is the 15th of December, so it's a bit of a way away. But yeah, it's okay. It's all good. Rest, recover, go again. That's that's what we look forward to. But yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Tell us how good the Reds are at the minute because we love to hear it. Thank you very much for watching this week's podcast. Remember to like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you all next week with another podcast. Bye.
Bye.